top 10 important signings for the last 10 years. First of all, I do apologise for not doing a podcast last week for the Brentford game. I was at the game, got back rather late, and yeah. Craig, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, a lot better than last week at the game. that were a terrible night, weren't it? But
I mean, I travelled at 4:30 in the morning to get there for that, so I don't mind it. But
yeah, I didn't travel as far, but it was just a horrible game to watch, wasn't it? But yeah, then international break where it gets boring. So we come up with these things.
Yeah, so since the 2015-16 season, we're going to run through some important players. We'll say the most important player from that season, and then at the end, we'll give our top 10. Feel free to let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. First of all, 15-16, obviously, Chris Wood and Stuart Dallas are the two standouts. So you got Kamara Roof as well in that one. Who would you say is the most important signing from that group of players?
Personally, for me, I think Dallas has got to be the most important. Like the others, I don't think stayed as long. Like the longevity of it to be that important. But Stuart Dallas has been there since that period and went on to win promotion with us. So definitely most important out of that group.
Yeah, Chris Wood, you probably could have said was important at the time.
For one season, yeah. But that's...
Yeah, it's a bit harsh to say since then. But obviously, again, 16-17 season, two players stand out in this one for me, Luke Ayling and Click.
Yeah, again, two promotion winners. It's like that's you're gonna from that season you'd have to pick Ayling and Click, wouldn't you? And then it's going to have to be a personal preference towards the end, whether they might both end up being in that final 10. But from that season, I'm definitely having Luke Ayling and Click. So I don't think any of the names stands out as an important signing.
Obviously, you got Brittock. Yes, but really, it's Sacco as well. But
Adi Sacco, Uninoke, and Billy Whitehouse.
Yeah, it's one of those tough ones. I mean, 17-18 season does get a bit interesting. You got Felix. Well, I can never pronounce his name, so I'm going to let you go on to the 17-18 season, mate.
Oh, Felix Wiedewald, Pontus Janssen, Vernon Nita, Caleb Ekuban, can you remember him?
Yes, I can.
Alioski,
Signs, J. Roy
Grott, Andy Lonergan, Pavel Sabiki, can you remember that guy?
I mean, the most important player from that list has to be Tyler Roberts. For me, I thought he was absolutely instrumental for us.
Yeah. Got Lauren, Adam Forshaw signed that year as well, didn't he? So, most important. For me, I would go with. I'd go with Pontus Janssen out of all that.
Over Alioski or Signs was good for us though.
Signs were good, but he weren't there for long enough, were he? And Alioski, I'd say another one that could. Another one that could be in there for important. But like Alioski would be my favourite signing out of all them.
Yeah.
But I think if we're talking importance, Pontus Janssen first came in, he changed our defense.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, so, I agree with you. I mean, then the 18-19 season, Barry Douglas, Patrick Bamford, Kiko. I mean, less said about him, the better. But
yeah, as much as people might, as much as whatever people's thoughts are on Bamford, it was important when we got promoted. So,
oh, definitely. And then 1920, you've got Ilan Melier, Howard Costa, Eden Prevada. As much as people diss him, right? I'm going to put this out there right now. Ilan Melier has been an important signing for us. And if you look at over the last 10 years, he's definitely up there with probably one of the best. We'll get into our list shortly. But if you look at how important he was, 21 clean sheets last season. Yes, I know we did make some errors towards the end. Most clean sheets, be it Joe Hart's record at the time in the Premier League for the youngest goalkeeper. You'd have to give it to him, surely, out of that list. Well,
yeah, as well as far as like I said, when you're talking, we're not talking our best signings, like the
yeah,
ones that we feel like, but we're talking importance. And you remember Melier came in when Kiko were not doing very well, and he kept that jersey for the rest of that season.
yeah.
You know, he were there, got us promoted. Our helped us get us promoted, and were fantastic in Premier League in that first season. So, as far as important signings go, is in there. Especially for the last 10 years.
And then you got the 2021 season, first season back in the Prem. There's only one standout person for me on this. Obviously, you've got Joffrey in the list. You've got Cody Drama, Robin Koch, Rodrigo, who, let's be honest, was an important signing for us.
Maybe.
Diego Llorente, and then obviously Rafinha, mate. And for 17 million as well. I mean,
he's probably the standout best signing over the last 10 years, like hands down, for what he achieved, for what he did for us.
I think I missed a name, or was he not? Pablo Hernandez, mate.
Yeah, Pablo Hernandez is. What season did he sign in? They haven't got him down in this list, have they?
No, I thought he was in the last 10 years. But yeah, no, obviously you're going back to Rafinha. He is hands down definitely one of the best. 2016 he signed, so yeah.
Yeah, so Pablo Hernandez is definitely in there.
So that was the 2016 17 season, which obviously did forget about that. So I do apologise on that one because I did remember. I was like, I swear Pablo was in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Stephen, we'll get on to Pero shortly. So obviously the 21-22 season that's when Jack Harrison officially signed, Junior Firpo signed, Dan James signed, Brendan Aronson signed, Rasmus Christensen signed, Mark Rocker signed. So out of those, for me, it's a tough one because Jack Harrison was an important player for us, but he was on loan at the time. And then when we signed him, he wasn't that important once we signed him. It was more when he was on loan for us how important he was.
I think it's just the Bielsa era. He were an important player under Bielsa. Out of Bielsa, he's not been. He wasn't very good, was he? Or he didn't seem to fit into the system very well outside of Bielsa. But whilst Bielsa were there, yeah, it was good. See, Firpo, bad first season, but then very important in the
get us promoted.
Yeah.
But then you could say the same thing about Brendan Aronson. As much as people don't like him, don't rate him, that's fair enough. He was an important part of us last season. And then to an extent, he was not as much as
If we're talking of a list of top 10, you've got to go Firpo in there. Like, he's more important than what Aronson was. The that he got that were unreal.
And then,
Harrington, yeah.
No comment. I don't know what you're talking about.
Though.
You got Dan James as well in that was important for us.
Yeah. He had best season of his life, didn't he? When we got promoted, so.
And then 22-23 season, obviously Tyler Adams, Sinstera, Nonto, Verba, Jorginho. I mean, Nonto's a tough one because he's rotational. He's not really been
I can't,
but he is, if you know what I mean.
Honestly, I can't put any of those signings above anybody else that we've spoke about as an important signing. They're more signings that have come. Some are still here, some have gone. You know, they've been fleeting signings. They're not like even Rutter. Rutter could have been an important signing, but
Yeah.
he left too early. So
But then you got Gruev, Kamara, Joel Perot, Carl Darlow, Ethan Ampadu.
yeah, see, in this lot, you're talking Ethan Ampadu definitely, like probably up there in the top 5 out of this list is an important signing for us. Because he's been fantastic since he's signed.
Yeah. I mean, Joel Perot in the championship as well was important for us. Got the goals, top goal scorer last season. So he's got to be in contention, maybe. Gruev's, well, I don't think that he would make it, but he is such an important yet underrated player for us. Yeah, Bok was involved in the last 10 years.
I think Gruev can get an honourable mention because he was important last season when we got those injuries.
Yeah, and then you've got, was it last season? You got Joe Rodon, Bogle, Ramazani, Schmidt, Tanaka, and then obviously Bijol this year, Bornell, Goodmanson, Longstaff, Statch, Calvert-Lewin. So
time will tell if they can become important. I can't name them in a most in a top 10 list just yet. So should we type them in the comments as we go along, like from 10 down to 1?
Yes. So we are going to get into our top 10 most important signings, and this is just subject. Please let us know yours in the comments if you disagree with us. I do feel harsh leaving these players out because for me, there isn't any Dan James in here. There's no Pascal in here, Rodrigo or Harrison in this. For me, what about you, mate? What's your on the honourable mentions?
Honourable mentions, I'd say Gruev.
Yeah, forgot about him. It's a tough one looking back at it. Who could?
I'd probably call Darlow. I'd probably call Darlow an important signing as an honourable mention because who knows what could have happened if he didn't make that change and come in.
There is. I'm actually going to put this out. Tyler Roberts and JKA.
And the last, like, since he came in last season, helped us get promoted, and then he's ended up number 1 goalkeeper this season as well.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say Carl Darlow is probably an important signing.
I agree with you on that one, but it doesn't make the top 10.
No, it's honourable mention. So, right, are we going from 10?
I'm gonna get I'm actually gonna do these in order as well. And can I hear your number 10 first, please, before I say mine, Craig?
I will go with number 10. I'm trying to think if I've got 10.
So okay, if you're struggling, I'm going to say mine straight away. Ilan Meslier as a top 10 important signings for the last 10 years. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I do think that Meslier has been an important signing for us. Like I said at the start, the clean sheets, youngest goalkeeper in the Prem with the clean sheets, helped get promoted twice. Yes, I know last season we should have dropped him earlier, but he was still important for us. So, unfortunately, Pirro doesn't make my top 10. And that may be harsh because how important he was the last 2 seasons for us. He does miss out.
Yeah. I'm just going to see if I've got 10 players. I'm going to put these together in some kind of order. Keep going.
So Craig is struggling with his 10 at the moment. So my 9 is going to be Patrick Bamford. I think what he done for us, yes, I know he's missed a lot of open goals or easy chances. He was still important for us, especially under Bielsa. His goals, especially during COVID lockdown, keeping us up in the Premier League. He's got to be a top 10 important signing. Unfortunately, Nick Alioski has missed out on these top 10. So at the moment, I've done Melier and Bamford as the top 10. Craig is still deciding this, even though he knew weeks ago that we were going to be recording this. He's now decided to struggle today. Craig, do you have a top 10 list?
I'm just thinking if I've got 10 players or what order to put them in. I've got 10 players. Just thinking what order to put them in.
So it is tough because there are players that are missing out. So yeah, Nick, I Melier over Alioski for an important signing for the club. I generally do believe that he has been more important on the pitch. And you're well within your rights to disagree with me, and I respect that, but that's just my personal opinion. Come on, Craig, we are waiting for this now.
Well, I'm right. Well, I'll start off with I've got Ayling down as me number 10.
Ailing in 10.
As an important player. I'm not saying best. We said important, didn't we?
Yeah, but
so I've
wow.
got Ayling at 10.
Okay, that's fine. What's your 9 then?
Then I've got Melier.
Melier
But this is what I mean. I'm struggling putting them in order.
No, that's fine. Right, 8. I'm going to go for Junior Firpo. I'd love to put him higher because you all know how much I love Junior, but for an important signing, there are a lot more important than him.
What we're on 8?
Yeah.
So I've got I'm writing these down in some weird order, and I ain't got time to chop and change them just in case.
Just do it how you feel when it comes to you.
So all I've picked out of these is I've got Melier, I've got Ayling at 10, Melier, Darlow
at 8. Okay.
Then Bamford at 7.
So at 7, I have got Joe Rodon. In terms of importance, what he's done for the so far, obviously he's just a rock for us, but I do believe they're a lot better than him. So 7, I've gone for Joe Rodon.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean, because it's like I ain't too included Joe Rodon. I need to take my part in. But all I've got down at the minute, I've got Click.
So you Click at 7?
At 6.
At 6. So 6, I've gone for Ethan Ampadu.
So then I've got Pontus Jansson at number 5.
Okay, he's not even on my list. So
that's
number 5.
That's just because I'm not putting him in any type of order yet. But I picked Jansson though because, like I said, when we signed him, he completely changed how we defended. So it's important. So at that time, we needed someone like that, and it made a big difference to us. So I've gone for Jansson.
No, that's fine. So I've gone. We're on 5, aren't we?
Yeah.
Mateus Click. For me, I would love to put him higher, and at the same time, I'm thinking a little bit 5, maybe a bit too high because when he first came in, he was a bit went on loan. Obviously, it was Bielsa that then made him into a player that he was for us. So, yeah, no, I'm going for 5. 5 for Click.
Right, guys. So I've got
number 4 for most important player.
See, these two are not in any particular order. I just wrote them in as they came to my head. So
that's fine.
Don't judge me on which order. Well, I've got Ampadu next.
In 4. Okay.
Well, I'm saying I've put Ampadu in.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You haven't done your homework, so that's fine. Number 4, I'm going to toss up between these two as well, who I've done, and I think I'm going to change my mind. Luke Ayling at number 4. What he brings to the goals, to defending. Okay, wasn't always perfect at defending. We know that. But, yeah, Luke Ayling at 4. And I've just changed that at the last minute because number 3 has to be in there now.
Well, I've put Bogle in at number 3 as an important signing because I think he's been more important over the last 10 years. I think he's brought more to the team than what Ayling did.
I haven't even included Bogle in my top 10.
Well, like I say, I've not gone for best. I've
No,
gone
I
for
know.
important. What
Yeah.
they've done for the club. So I've got Ayling and Bogle because they've both been fantastic for us.
No, that's fine. Number 3, I've gone for Stuart Dallas. The fact that he's so
Dallas in.
The fact that you missed out Stuart Dallas as well is amazing because what he done, the fact that he was so versatile, pretty much played everywhere.
He's probably one of the most important signings we've had.
That's what I mean. It was a toss up between him and Ayling. I did have originally Ayling third on my list, but then I swapped it to Stuart Dallas.
I'm going to move them all up one. I'll take Ayling out, or I'll take Janssen out and put.
So taking Janssen out and
I'll take Janssen out and put Dallas in because I completely forgot about Dallas. But Dallas is probably one of the most important signings because the amount of positions that he played for us and what he did for us is just unmatched, isn't it?
I mean, we signed him as a right wing, then he went to left wing, then he put left back all over the place. So yeah, I will tell you now that Harrison is not in my top 10 list. The top 2 are pretty obvious. I think we all know it's just what order you're going to put it in. In terms of most importance, it's got to be Pablo or Rafinha. Craig, who's your number 2? Or do you have somebody else?
Well, I would put. See, I would put Dallas in at number 2. And I'd move Pablo to like number 3 because Pablo, yes, amazing, brilliant signing, but I think Dallas was more important than Pablo.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me because obviously we all remember the Pablo goals and promotion, Swansea, and all of that.
But Dallas got some really important goals. Two against Man City when we're down 10 minutes. Thing is, if we were talking best signings, Pablo and Rafinha number 1 and 2. But we're talking about most important. I think Dallas has to be up there as one. Like even I've got Rafinha at number 1, and it's arguable. It's arguable that Dallas could be the most important signing we've had.
It's a tough one because when you go from like the best signing to most important, it changes your thinking and aspect of what important stroke best signing actually is.
It is because there's a big difference in it. So, like I say,
Rafinha, the best signing definitely hands down would be Rafinha, but obviously he kept us up as well.
But that's what I mean. That's
how important he was for us.
The importance that comes into it is he basically kept us up. That season. And before he went, and he was fantastic whilst he was there, but he weren't there as long as what Dallas were, and over the long and like Dallas didn't have the best start to his life at Leeds. It took him a while to get going, but once he did, like especially when Bielsa came in, he went to a different level.
I'd be tempted to have Pablo 1 and Rafinha 2 for importance. I mean, I think the top 3, Dallas, Rafinha, and Pablo, however order you want to put them in, is completely fair because, like I said, originally I had Dallas as 4, and I'm like, actually, he was a lot more important than what Ayling was. And like you said, you could argue that he was our most important signing, but then Pablo single-handedly kept us up that season. Not single-handedly, but you know what I mean. But I mean, let us know in the comments if you agree with us. Let us know your top 10 signings. I mean, football's a matter of opinion. We all see the game differently anyway. So
yeah, and there's probably players that I've missed off, like completely forgot about, like in there. Like I said, Gruev's were important for that season. Alioski, like in your best signings, Alioski would have been in there because he was just fantastic, wasn't he? But it's all like I say, it's all down to a matter of opinion, and most the top 10 signings didn't have. Yeah, exactly.
The thing is that
done.
you look at the list, like realistically, of who could be most important signings: Dallas, Ayling, Pablo, Click, Pontus, Alioski, Bamford, Melier, Pascal, Rafinha, Rodrigo, Firpo. As much as people don't like it, Harrison, Aronson, James, Ampadu, Gruev, Rodon, Perot, Bogle, and Tanaka. And then obviously that's not including Goodmanson, Justin, and Stack.
The thing for me is I looked at it as like you mentioned Aronson, and I'm like, well, in 5 or 10 years' time, will you remember if Aronson went this season? Will you remember him? But you'll remember Dallas. You'll remember remember Janssen for what he did. You remember Dallas for what he did. You remember nobody will remember people like that.
Pro is 10 goals and assists.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I had Pirot in, and I had to check him out for. It's a list of 10 is difficult because Pirot has, and James as well. Yeah,
but like I said, my 10 are Melier, Bamford, Firpo, Rodon, Ampadu, Click, Ayling, Dallas, Rafinha, and Pablo. So it's maybe you could argue that Pirro is more important, but then what instead of Firpo? But then Firpo was quality the 2 seasons that got us up all those assists. So again, like I say, it's a matter of opinion, and that's what football is all about.
and I think a lot of mine though is geared towards promotion the first time as well, because that were like Melier were important, instrumental to that. Darlow were important the second time we got promoted when under Farker. But a lot of these go back to like the Bielsa era where Melier were important that season. Ayling were important. Bamford were important. Click were important. It's I think a lot of mine's geared towards that thinking of that first promotion because it had been so long. And like the season before, what happened? Not the season before we lost in the playoffs, but the season before that we were mid-table,
13th, 16th, weren't we? And then I mean, like when Chris Wood here, we was just outside the playoffs. Okay, then this is the most obvious question, but not at the same time. Most important manager for the last 10 years.
Oh, Bielsa.
I mean, yeah, it
it's
is because he's the one that got us promoted. You've seen the fans at the England game all online recently, how much we adore him.
Yeah, from the last 10 years, Bielsa. It's like it's non-negotiable, isn't it? He is the most important manager we've had.
I'd even argue the last 20 years.
Yeah, he's the best manager we've had for a long, long time, and he brought everything back to us. You know, made us feel like we were on an upward trajectory again. And even after leaving, and although we got relegated like a couple of seasons, like a season later, it's still he's he's the one that transformed the club altogether.
Yeah, definitely. So before we leave it, then, mate, we will do a quick prediction for West Ham in the FA Cup. Do we win it? Do we go through or not?
It's a tough one, isn't it? I don't know.
West Ham away on Easter Sunday.
Well, first of all, my heart says, yeah, we can win this game, but it's away in London.
I'm going to go out right now and say we go through to the semi-finals. Now, you know me. I wanted a cup run for years.
Yeah, I don't think we could do it. I've got a feeling this goes to the best we get in 90 minutes is a draw.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think we get 90 minutes. It's a draw.
I'd probably agree with you. I do think, like I said, I still think we can win this. We can go through. I'm still going to say we win this. But either way, mate, it's still a cup run. We have not been to a quarter final in however long.
I know, I'm hoping we do. I hope we do now. Now, like I said, up until this point, I'm not bothered. Once we get to quarterfinals, semis, that's when right. Okay, I'm interested because you've got a chance then. Because it's like what you win quarterfinals, you win semis, you win finals. It's like 3 games, 3 one-off games, and I don't care who you are coming up against Leeds in a one-off game. If the right Leeds United turn up, we've got a chance.
Exactly. We will leave it there. Unless Craig, you got anything else to add before we do leave it there?
No, but apart from anybody that's out there that's listened to this or listening to it, write your list in the comments so that we can, because there'll be players that we've missed out, and I want to see what other people's thoughts are. And if it
doesn't necessarily have to be in order either.
Yeah, you don't have to put them in order, but just if you've got any outlandish ones, just explain why. Because I like to know those kind of things. So yeah, and subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, like, and all of that. Guys, we'll see you next week. Leeds.
Leeds.